All right, y'all, just making sure this is connected. Okay, I think I am. All right, just got some extra time here, so I just want to jump on and do a quick live because we ain't got no fights this weekend, so might as well talk some MMA, right? So, 1 second, let me make sure I'm connected. Let me make sure I'm connected, then we can get to talking for a little bit. All right, yeah, probably jump on, now, talk for a little bit, and get back on later on tonight. Talk some more WMMA. Just a couple of things I want to, talk about because I've been busy the past few days, right? I haven't been on in a few days, and um, I know some of y'all been commenting talking about Valentina versus Taylor Santos. So, I want to just talk about that, like how high of a demand is that fight right now? Like, how bad do y'all want to see that rematch, right? I just want to get in on that a little bit, and Marina Rodriguez, I want to just discuss how far can she go at 115. Like, can she win that belt and carry the division on her back, right? Because Marina's got a really good resume, so I want to talk about that for about 30-40 minutes. I'm just on a cool down right now. Just got done working out, so I'm just kind of cooling down. And then, like I said, I'll get back on a little later on tonight, like 7:30 or something, like the usual time. Chin, what's up? Mojo, what's going on? And this fight, I'm looking forward to this fight right here. Let's talk about this fight first. Yasmine Jauregui. Yasmine Jauregui and Estella Nunez. I'm looking forward to this one. This one's going to be a banger right here. Man, telling y'all, this girl Yasmine, she came into the UFC, made a statement now, like, as far as like action. Got a couple of things to work on this UFC level, but Yasmin's got some fire right now. She's got some fire to her. Yasmin's got fire. Um, she's just that type of fighter like Joanna that just lets them hands go. She like to, you know, um, put the calf kicks on you. She's putting that offense on you. She can stuff takedowns. So this is another fight. I think she's gonna go in there and make a statement. I mean, Estella Nunez, man, Estella, she could be so much more if she fought more throughout the fight. Kind of the thing about Estella Nunez is she's kind of like an even low. I won't say even lower level. She is a lower level version of like Rujo. Because even Rujo will give you 3 rounds. Like she'll give you round 1 in some fights, and then she'll give you round 3, or she'll give you all 3 rounds. She's always trying. Like, I can't really say that Rujo's gas tank or her, just stamina is like on this type of level. Like, it looks kind of suspect sometimes against high level fighters, or Rujo that is. But when you look at like Estella Nunez, she'll give you like one good round, maybe two, maybe like 1.5, but that's about it, you know. So for the first round or so, yeah, it's gonna be an interesting fight. You know what I mean? Like, the girl can, pump a good jab out. She's got some interesting movement to her, but she just doesn't really like commit to a fight. Like, she just won't go in there and find her rhythm, and then just stay committed to it throughout a fight. Like, she'll give you one good hard round. Like, when she fought Sam Hughes, she had an okay round, but then Sam started turning it on her and just started picking her apart and just outworking her. Like, how many fights has she had now? Two. She 2-0 in the UFC right now. I mean, she could be 2-0. What, she 0-2? Hold on, let me pull up the resume. Hang on. Estella Nunez versus Yasmine Jauregui. IST. Yeah, okay. December 3rd. Just so y'all know, Yasmine Jauregui versus Estella Nunez. This fight's December 3rd. We still got a little ways to go. Anything can happen, but I just wanted to talk about the matchup here a little bit because this is this style matchup even though it is like the second fight of Yasmine, it's still kind of a bad matchup for Estella Nunez. If you know what Yasmine Rodriguez is capable, what she's capable of, and how she moves in there, and how she, lets her hands go, this fight is a bad matchup for Estella Nunez. I think Estella Nunez will fare better against some of these grapplers out here that are just one dimensional. Like the ones that just don't have any type of jab, no type of footwork. That gives her the best chance to look good in a fight. So, matchmaking wise, like entertainment wise, it's an okay fight. I mean, it is a good fight. It's an explosive fight because, we're going to get a stand-up battle. But as far as like for Estella Nunez, I think she's taking on a dangerous opponent right now. Yasmine undefeated. And like I said, I think she's just too aggressive, just too aggressive for her, man. Let me pull up this resume. Okay, yeah. She is, she's lost. Who's the other fighter she had lost to? Who's that other fighter she lost to? I know she lost to Samuels because she's 6-3 right now. Carnelossi, yeah. Carnelossi choked her out. Yeah, so she's 0-2 in the UFC. Well, I'm gonna have to kind of take back what I'm saying because she was dealing with a bull in Carnelossi, a high-paced Carnelossi, right? So it's not just this particular style. Like it's almost like, oh man, it's just the fact that she just ain't fighting 3 rounds and she just don't give it her all in these fights, right? Because if she would put her striking together and, like I said, put her pacing together in a fight, then she could still pull out these victories, off of her stand-up, good takedown defense and so on. But Carnelossi came from behind the back, I remember, and submitted her in the 3rd round, right? So, she's going to be dealing with all kinds of, she's going to have trouble with all kinds of styles right now, just because of the way she lets it go in 1 round. And then after that, she's just like done, You said, I think Yasmine could overwhelm her, maybe even finish her. Yeah, I think she could finish her. Estella's a good jabber. She's a good mover for about a round or so, like I said. But I think the aggression of Yasmine is kind of like Joanna. She could take some hits here and there, but she's giving like 3-4 back. And I think she's so much more committed. Like if you go back and look at some of her fights, Yasmine's very aggressive. She's always making shots count too. Like when she turns kicks over and she's turning punches over, she's making sure, if one misses, the second or third is going to hit you and connect. So it's one of those type of fights where it's going to be reminiscent of like Joanna. This might be like, you could say it might be like Joanna versus Jessica Panay, actually. I ain't trying to overrate it like that, but this might be like, I know y'all remember that fight, Joanna versus Jessica Panay. Like that level of striking was just too much. I mean, just busting her up. Like Estella Nunez, her defense is okay, but it's not like perfection, anything like that. The girl still gets hit. So if you're dealing with somebody like Yasmine who's firing off combinations and likes to storm forward and fight in the pocket, you might see that type of fight, where she might get overwhelmed. Estella's got to come in here and look halfway decent, though, I think, because if she goes 0-3, she's gonna be on the chopping block too. She's gonna be on that chopping block. We might as well go ahead and say it. Estella Nunez is one of these fighters on the chopping block, because the levels she's been losing to and how she's been losing kind of just tells us that, okay, we got more strawweights coming in, and if you can't even beat this level of strawweight, then you got to go back. You got to go back and get some work in. Because who else did they sign recently? Bruna Brazil. You got girls looking strong like her from the Contender Series. That other strawweight they signed off the Contender Series, and she didn't look like spectacular. What was her name? Dudakova. Yeah, like Dudakova, that young blonde girl they signed. She didn't really look like spectacular. She won her fight, but it wasn't like anything to go crazy about. But Bruna Brazil, that girl that just scored a head kick, the only knockout for the women in the Contender Series this season. You got fighters like her and Yasmine, Velismus, Corey McKenna. These girls right here that are looking like they're going to be the future of the top 15. So you gotta remember, you got a lot of competition. So girls like Estella Nunez, they gotta start working. They gotta start opening their eyes because you know next thing you know, you lose one fight, you lose two, then you down three, and the next thing you getting your walking papers, right? Robot Chicken said Nunez doesn't have the cardio to hang. Yeah, that's the scary part. She don't have the cardio to hang because Yasmine is all cardio, man. Like her style is all cardio. Volume, offense. Always looking to come with that energy to finish. Yasmine's a vicious girl. Like I said, she's kind of open here and there, but I don't think Estella Nunez really promote. I don't think she really brings any type of style that's gonna say, oh, Yasmine's gonna get caught or something like that. Like I don't see her getting caught or getting hurt by that type of style. Especially when she already fought that girl Lucinda. Oh, you taking McKenna versus Velismus? I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards Velismus in this one. I think I'm going with Velismus in this fight. I like McKenna too, but I think she's still growing. It's going to have to be all ground. Like if McKenna wants to win this fight, it's got to be all ground. She's got to wrestle. She's got to wrestle for 3 rounds on Velismus. I don't think she's going to stand with Cheyenne Velismus like that. I think her stand-up could give her problems. So it's got to be inside fighting, clinching and just taking Velismus down to the ground. Chen said that Teresa Bladed chick is huge. I can't believe she's a flyweight. She looks like a featherweight next to Manon. Yeah, because Manon is what, 5'7", 5'8". And yeah, she's pretty tall. She's pretty big. She's a big Sink, what's going on? He said Cheyenne did JP dirty. Yeah, they got some stuff going on. They had some stuff going on between them two. And I think she still got some personal stuff going on. That's why her fight had got pushed back. Because the fight was December 3rd. I think the fight was supposed to be December 3rd for Cheyenne Velismus. Theirs got pushed back another 2 weeks or something like that. So Corey McKenna, Cheyenne, their fight's already getting pushed back. Yeah, Teresa Bleda, she's only 20 years old, so I think she can continue to be a flyweight, but eventually Teresa Bleda, she'll be a bantamweight. Yeah, she's only 20 years old right now, so think of that she's making that weight now and she's looking strong, but eventually 23, 24, she's going to be up there at bantamweight probably. Ricci can't get a decent fight. Who's Ricci fighting now? Oh yeah. Jessica Penney's on bronchitis. Yeah, she's out for a while. I really don't know who Ricci is beating though. I really don't know personally. I don't know who Ricci's gonna beat though. Like style wise, like who do y'all think Ricci can beat in there? Like just looking at a lot of these strawweights in the bottom, like who do you think Ricci can beat? Because honestly, I think Sam Hughes beats her. I think her and Demopolis, they train together, so that ain't gonna happen. I think Yasmine, that style beats her. Luana Pinheiro, that might be somewhat competitive for Kanako Murata. I don't know when Kanako Murata's coming back, but yeah, I don't see Ricci beating anybody really. Like no disrespect. I'm just saying like matching her up and knowing how they threw into the game so fast, I don't see it. I don't see it. Robot Chicken says Cheyenne is the better striker. I'm not expecting Corey to stand with her if. Oh yeah. That's what I was saying. Like if she take her, that's why I said her game plan's got to be take her down or the fight. Um, but can she? That's the question. I don't know. I really don't know, man. Like who Tabitha Ricci can beat though. Estella Nunez, maybe, maybe Estella Nunez. Yeah, Tabitha Ricci could probably beat Estella. I don't even know if she could beat her. She ain't beating Loma Labugni. I really don't know. Uh, yeah, bantamweight's easy division. James, what's going on? Yeah, bantamweight's. Well, no, I can't say it's easy division because some of those girls still come from behind the back and beat you. You know what I mean? Like Rocky Pennington, Sarah's gone. Rocky Pennington, she's still a handful for some of these girls that ain't proven themselves. Caitlyn Vieira, she can still be some problems, you know. Misha Tate, of course, at number 10, she's kind of the easy one. So, you know. Let's see. I just wanted to talk about that fight a little bit. Yasmine and Estella Nunez, December 3rd. Hopefully it doesn't get canceled or anything. I lean towards Yasmine Jauregui early on. I think that, you know, style-wise, we're going to get a explosive stand-up type of fight. You know, fighters, they're just going to be letting their hands go. Estella's going to hang in there for about one round, I think, maybe 1.5. And, you know, get in a couple of shots. But I think Yasmine's just too aggressive. And I think Yasmine's going to, you know, keep her pinned up with combinations. And you might see her stopping her. You know, I think Yasmine's on a mission right now. Yasmine Regi's on a mission. And, you know, they giving her another fight to kind of grow. Might get another unranked fight. And next thing you know, Yasmine's going to be probably fighting the top 15, you know. They might make Yasmine versus Angela Hill somewhere down the line, you know. She might fight the winner of Juarez versus Karolina Kowalkiewicz. You know, they might just start giving her some of them names like that. And then you're going to see Yasmine get this, you know, I won't say quick road to top 10, but eventually you'll see her there, like at some point in the top 15 in 2023, like maybe mid 2023 or towards the end of, you know, next year. I think you'll see Yasmine Jauregui in there because, yeah, if she blows out Estella Nunez, she's gonna get another fight early in the spring, and it's gonna probably be, like I said, maybe somebody like Angela Hill or Berna Jandiroba. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. She's gonna get one of them names. Robot Chicken said he got Yasmine too. Yeah, I got Yasmine in this fight. I got Yasmine. If Estella loses, that's 0-3. She might be out the door. She gonna be out the door, I think, man. See how what's up? He said Tyler at 145. Tyler Santos at 145. I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know about that. Okay, yeah. So let's talk about this fight a little bit here because it just seems like a lot of people have been, well, you know, a good number of people want to see this rematch right now. I've been hearing some people want to they want to see this right now, like next year, before the other fights that look like title eliminators. Valentina Shevchenko versus Tyler Santos, the rematch. Like I said, it kind of seems like it's somewhat in high demand. You know, a lot of people want to see this rematch because Santos did give Valentina a pretty good fight. I, for one, was one of the ones that gave Santos the edge first time looking at it. Could have went either way. And with that performance, you know, Santos has been built up a little bit more confident. You know, she's been feeling a little bit more better about herself, even with what's been going on, even with the crazy stuff that's been going on. She still wants to go in there and run it back. I know she posted on like her Twitter the other day that she wanted to run it back because she she like took a little video of, the poster of Valentina versus Santos, and she was basically saying that she wants to run it back, right? So with her talking about it and a lot of people just not really interested in these other fights, which I am now. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about what other people want. Y'all think like this fight's really that high in demand right now? Like, is this a rematch that we really need to see right away? Like, do we need to see it right away? Because, just get some followers, saying, Santos deserves it. Santos needs to do it. Santos gave Valentina the best fight. Nobody else going to beat her, this, that, just keep going on and on. But to me, now, my opinion, I can wait. I can actually wait on this one, for several reasons. I can wait. I can wait because, first of all, Tyler Santos, she did give Valentina a very good fight. She gave her a very good fight that we haven't seen anyone at 125 be able to do, which is win more than one round. Not even Jennifer Maia, not even Jennifer Maia. We can't even say that because, Jennifer Maia was a fighter that was just durable. Jennifer Maia only won one round. That was about it, right? Other than that, she just survived. She just survived in the fight. But Tyler Santos, she did more. She did more, and she made it a very interesting fight, very competitive fight. But right now, I think that off of what she did, it was very competitive that first time around. But to me, there's still something about that performance where I think it would be better if Tyler Santos took the much needed break to not just heal from the eye socket, but I think it would be wise to work on technique, work on what she needs to correct, work on what would work on Valentina and how they can build off of what they did the first time. You know what I mean? Like, there's much more to it. Like, every now and then you got to look at how these rematches go with certain fighters. Like, you got to look at let me see. What's a good rematch example that was very, very close to the point you knew it had to be the next fight? Well, I'm trying to think of one off top. My mind's drawing a blank right now. Well, say Shevchenko and Nunez, like their first fight, it was a close fight, right? Very, highly competitive, could have gone either way, very questionable. And at the same time, in the fight, you can see each fighter giving the other fighter fits. You know what I mean? Everybody, somebody's giving somebody fits throughout the fight. So sometimes those type of fights do call for rematches. This one here with Tyler Santos, she had some good moments, and it was a split decision. But the way she performed, I think what she did in the fight, it was just something Valentina wasn't used to at that particular moment because of the level of fighters she's been fighting in the past. You know what I mean? Like, the level of fighters in the past have never really tried to wrestle Valentina to this level, or they just didn't have the physical strength. They just didn't have the physical strength to handle her. They didn't have the ability to take her down like Tyler Santos did. So it was still something kind of new to Valentina at the time, right? So I'm thinking that next time around, Valentina, she's definitely going to be on her game, and she's definitely going to watch this fight over and over and over. Her team is going to watch it over and over and over again, and they're going to go back and look and say, well, this is what we need to do this time around to avoid these takedowns. And we need to avoid the ego match. You know what I mean? We need to avoid the ego match and just say, okay, we need to just strike this time. We need to just stick and move in this fight. We need to just stay on our stand up, which is better, and pick Tyler apart that way. You know what I mean? You don't want to go in there and give the bigger, stronger fighter the edge again, right? And I think that's what Valentina learned from the first fight. Like I said, it was just kind of a wake-up call in that fight. It was a shocker. And That's what made that fight so competitive. But I'm thinking if you go back and do that right away the next time around, where somebody with Valentina's IQ is much higher, I think Valentina would make the right adjustments so much more faster than Tyler Santos would. I think going back in, Tyler would try to just do the same thing again. Maybe not, maybe not. She probably would try to make some corrections, but it would be, it wouldn't come off smooth like the first fight would. You know what I mean? She's got to shock Valentina again. That's the thing. Like, you got to shock her with something else. You got to be able to hit Valentina when she's on the ground. Now you just can't hold her in place. Just hold her from the back, looking for submissions. It's got to be ground and pound and all of that. Like, all of that's got to be implemented in her new game, in her new approach to fighting Valentina in a rematch. And that's why I say, for me, I wouldn't want to see it right away. I'd want to see that fighter go back. Like, even, Robert Whittaker and Izzy, you know what I mean? Like, Robert Whittaker, top level fighter, but even after he got knocked out in the second round, some people could have argued, said he could get the rematch right away because, he is Robert Whittaker. But even he had to go back, win 3 fights in a row. And I don't even know if Tyler Santos needs to do that much. Like, she don't even have to do 3 fights in a row. She just gotta, go back and maybe get another fight. And in the meantime, just study this fight over and over. Just study this fight over and over and look back and say, where can we add certain things to make sure that we can win these rounds? You know what I mean? Like, where did we fail the first time? Like, how do we come up short? Right? So that's why I think, to me, I think you can wait. And again, Valentina, like I said a while back, she made valid points on it as well. Like, let the girl heal, let her rebuild, and then we can do it again, right? Because, like I said, close fight at the time, but I don't think it would be as close if it was an immediate rematch. The next time around, I think Valentina would figure it out a lot quicker. Best fighter I could pick again is Floyd Mayweather, where he had a close fight with what's his name, Jose Luis Castillo, and very arguably, a lot of people could have gave Castillo the first fight because it was that close, but when they fought the second time, Floyd made it open and shut. Stuck to what he knows, boxed a lot better in that fight. Didn't give Castillo any type of advantage, and then boom, he won the rematch that quick. So I think if Tyler wanted this fight right away, it would more just be off the energy of the first fight and just saying, oh man, the first time it was that close, I could go back in there and do the same thing. But no, to me, I think Valentina would correct everything from the first fight, and she might neutralize Tyler in the rematch. Believe it or not, believe it or not, I think she would get neutralized in an immediate rematch right now, because fighter with the high IQ, they're going to learn from it. The fighter with the high IQ, they're going to learn right away. So I think it would be wise for Tyler to just get another fight, maybe, like I said, get a confidence builder and work on that ground and pound, work on more position and wrestling and just strikes on the ground versus submission. Because you ain't going to submit Valentina that quick. You know what I mean? Like, she had 5 rounds. To get a submission, but she never did. So that's where she should have made the adjustment and said, you know what, I got to just start stealing these rounds by beating her up and landing, hammer fists on the ground. I got to switch position and not just look for submission anymore and start just scoring. Like, look what Juliana Pena does when she's on the ground. Like, Juliana Pena, Wei Lee, those type of fighters, when they have you on the ground and they can't get a submission off, they whooping you. They landing shots. They landing good strikes. You know what I mean? So you just got to be that type of fighter that says, okay, well, if this doesn't work by round 3 or 4, we got to do something different where we can make sure we can bag these rounds, right? So, yeah, I just think, that's to me, it's just a logical choice to say, hey, wait it out. Let's take our time. Let's see what else Valentina offers in these other fights. And like I said, it shouldn't be a fight that we think needs to happen right away because we got two other good fights, man. We got two good fights out here, man. We got the winner of Grasso Araujo, and I know Valentina. I mean, I know what Valentina would do to Grasso. Don't get me wrong. I know, but it's just a different look. It's new blood, and if Grasso looks good against Araujo, it's an exciting fight, right? Then you got Shevchenko and Manon. Winner of that fight deserves a chance. So I can't say Tyler did better than Caitlyn, right? She seems like the better flyweight right now. But remember, if Chikagan wins against Manon, that's 5 in a row. That's 5 in a row. Even Tyler Santos hasn't done that. So Caitlyn Chikagan's won 5 in a row if she beats Manon in a couple of weeks. If she does that, that's 5 fights in a row for her, and she's already number 1. So, like it or not, she's earned the title shot. She'll have to get it before a rematch with Tyler Santos. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like me, I'm just going down the books. I'm going down the line. People can make argument all they want. They don't like her style. But I ain't talking about whether you like her style or not. I'm talking about what's logical and what is right in your face. All right? And that's how you got to look at it sometimes. The person that's number 1 and on a good win streak gets the title shot. So I think the Santos fight can be pushed back to next summer possibly. And we got good choices. We got good choices out here, right? We got good choices. If Manon wins, it's hers. If the main event between Grasso and Araujo looks good, hey. All right, hold on. Let me check these comments because I'm on my phone doing this stream. Hold on, y'all. Like I said, I just want to get off some top topics here real quick because I'm just cooling down from this workout. Hold on, y'all. What y'all talking about? Okay, Robot Chicken said, get your boy. Which one? George, what's going on? George said Chikagan not fight Val again, end up like the last fight. Whether it ends up like the last fight, she'll get it. You don't ignore 5-fight win streak. Darby said, why would Val tap when Santos never had a deep submission? Hold on. Robot Chicken said, like Combo said, Santos had moments. Val looked very uncomfortable, and she's solid for not tapping. BJ says, stop putting Weili in with grapplers. See, that's why BJ you were called. That's why BJ was called Kale and Stephen A. Smith, because I don't even know what you're talking about. BJ says, stop putting Weili in with grapplers. That's why you get compared to Stephen A. Smith. Oh, BJ, what's up, right? That's why I'm gonna start calling you Kale. No, what am I gonna call you? Stephen A. Johnson or BJ Smith? BJ Smith. Oh man, that's why I have to start calling you BJ. Two Beats, what's up? He said, personally, I think Tyler should consider Amanda versus Val 1-2. Consider that Val does improve in rematches significantly and decide based on how fast she can improve respectively. Okay. Sure says Stephen A. Slick back. Stephen A. No back. I mean that Stephen A. way back. That's that hair. That's Stephen A. way back. BJ said, "Nah, you said what Juliana and Weili do to fighters on the ground. Exactly. What does Weili do on the ground? They're ground and pound. Ground and pound ain't got nothing to do with just being a grappler, BJ. So next, Weili got the ground and pound. Juliana Pena got the ground and pound. So ground and pound, what's that got to do with just grapple? I'm talking about working on the ground. I'm talking about working out. I'm talking about working on the ground, BJ. I know you're hearing what you want to hear, but you know. Uh, James said, of course, she never had a deep submission. Kama, let's ask you a question straight up. Was Bullet ever close to tapping? Was she ever close to tapping? She was in compromised positions, but she was never close to tapping. I thought, yeah, we established that, right? She wasn't close to tapping. That's why I made that suggestion that she needs to make sure that if she can't get a submission, she's got to change her game up. Like if you got a person in the rear naked choke, maybe you should either let that person turn into your guard, or maybe you should like transition to a full mount and start letting that ground and pound go. You know what I mean? Or you should start using that. If you got the left arm up under the neck, maybe you should start using that right hand where, hammer fist to the ear and to the face, right? So there was a lot of times in there where that could have happened. Oh yeah, Darby. Yeah, that was a good fight. That was a good fight. Mandio and Anaba. Shout out to Mandio though, man. She tried, man. She was in there giving that girl work. I thought she was about to choke out Anaba. Anaba's got good hands, but she got to work on her recklessness. She get reckless in there, but she got some good hands, man. Samiko Anaba, she got a, she got some, man. Her hands are nice though. She got some nice hands. But Mandio was in that game. She was in the fight, man. Because I was laid out with, the 19 watching that fight, and I was enjoying that fight. Yeah, Mandio was in there, man. She'll be around, I think, with Bellator for another fight. Ulysses, what's going on? Sink said, "Combo, read my question up there. What's your question?" Stephen A. Slickback. You said percent? What percentage chance do you give Chikagan to win, and by what method? I give her a 40% chance. I give her 35 to 40% chance. I give Chikagan the 35 to 40% chance. You want the real? That's what I'm giving you. I'm the Manon fan. I want Manon to win, but she's got a 60% chance to beat Caitlyn. Caitlyn's got the 40%. I got to give her that. You know what? Scratch that. Might be controversial, but I'm going to say 45 to 50. Let me change that. Chikagan 50-50, man. Let me be real. All right. I just got to be real, because the fan wants Manon to win, right? But the real analyst, Chikagan Manon is 50-50. Chikagan Manon is 50-50. And if she was to win by a certain method, it's going to be a decision. I don't see her submitting Manon. I don't see her knocking Manon out or anything like that. If she's to win this fight, she's going to win by decision. You know, Chikagan's got a good doggone chance. It's a 50-50 fight, man. Like, I'm rooting for Manon to win, but it's a 50-50 fight, man. Look at the names that she's beat on her resume. Look at the names that she's outworked. She's outworked a lot of fighters. You know what I mean? So, hey. No, James, it's just that I'm a realist. I don't fanboy. I don't fanboy and I don't simp over here. I'm gonna give you the real. I'm more like a trainer. I'm more like a cornerman, man. I'm gonna tell you the real. I ain't gonna excuse me. I ain't gonna BS you. I ain't gonna lie to you and be a cheer. I ain't a cheerleader. I want Manon to win. Think she will win, but it's 50-50, man. Like, if you want to just be real and just say, hey, how much of a chance? You gonna really downplay Chikagan's resume like that? Why you think she working so hard? If this was an easy fight, the training would probably be a little bit less to a lesser degree. All right. I'm gonna tell you the real over here. Ain't no cheerleader over here. Yeah, Robot Chicken. Chikagan can pull it off, but you rocking with Manon. Exactly. See, I'm going to be, if I say 70-30, that's like Nunez versus Pena um, numbers right there. Because, Nunez is that good. And then you're looking at the level that Pena was on at the time. But this one here, Chikagan's faced a lot of fighters, man. Chikagan's faced a lot of fighters. Chikagan's faced a lot of different fighters. Like, people forget, like, she beat Lauren Murphy and she beat Aldana before. She's beat fighters with that point style. James said you never said it was 50-50. Check the video, beat. Check some of these last videos, James. I said it before, man. I don't talk just to hear myself speak, man. I say this and stuff. Y'all just get so caught up talking about other crap. Sometimes y'all forget what I say. But luckily I got receipts, so yeah, you see Manon getting in that work too. She putting in a lot of good work right now because she know how serious this fight is. Ulysses, what's up? He said 55-45. Yeah, I can see that too. Like I said, it's somewhere in that range. It's somewhere in that range. Yeah, what's 60-40? Yeah, 60-40. It could be 60-40. But like I said, let me take away the fan. It's 50-50. I mean, if you think it's 65-35 or 60-40, fine. But it is the fight. Whoever wins this fight, to me, should get that title shot. Going back to that, I think whoever wins this fight, they deserve the title shot over Tyler Santos right now. Tyler versus Lauren Murphy. I want that fight. I don't care what anybody says. I think Tyler versus Lauren Murphy is a good fight. Um, Tyler versus Lauren Murphy. What is her name? Not Jennifer Maya. Yeah, that's the fight to make. Yeah. That's the fight to make. Tyler and Lauren Murphy. Go ahead and make that fight. Work on her strength again and her takedowns. Work on that striking a little bit and get. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Darby. Yeah, Chikagan makes fights ugly. Like, Chikagan makes fights ugly in there, and that's something you have to get past. Manon's game has got to be to the body. Oh yeah, there was something you said, Marcus. I wanted to read it. Marcus said, for Manon to dominate, she will have to take away Caitlyn's success rate, or at least only allow Caitlyn to have just a little success. You got to take away, her volume. You got to take away any space that she wants to try to create, any ability where she wants to go in there and just create space with her own push kick. Don't forget, man, like, she's got her own push kick, and it can be effective. It's a, you know, it's a round stealer. Like, Caitlyn Chikagan doesn't have like a powerful front kick, but she'll throw those combinations, and she'll kind of end some of her combinations with like a push kick to the body, like she was doing Arujo. She'll kind of kick you to the body, and then throw out a couple of flurries and move, just to kind of steal rounds. So, Chikagan's got to be aware of that. Not, excuse me, not Manon's got to be aware of that. Manon's got to be more of the aggressor, I think, in this fight. Stick it to the body, chop down the legs of Chikagan and go focus on that midsection. Well, Chikagan got her black belt. She just got her black belt in jiu-jitsu, so hey. Darby said, I hate to admit it, but Chikagan got skills. Oh no, I give her props. Like I said, she's one of my favorite fighters out there, man. Like people hate hearing that, but Chikagan's one of my favorite fighters. I mean, one of my favorite fighters without a belt, because what she does is just, very impressive to me. No knockout power, but she's just like shutting your favorite fighters down, like nobody can really handle that. Yeah, she's one of my favorites, man. Like, I don't care what anybody say, boring, but she's boring. That girl, hey, tell your favorite fighter to beat her up then. You know what I mean? Tell your favorite fighter to whoop her next time. If y'all get sick of seeing that style, hey, tell everybody to turn into Andrade or Valentina. Because Andrade be, Andrade, she ain't playing, Valentina, they weren't playing with that style. But everybody else, they seem to be baffled. Like, Chikagan baffles you with her style, because that shows you what level of boxing IQ these women have out here. Like, next to Alexa Grasso and Rose, Chikagan, her boxing IQ is off the charts compared to these other fighters. And like, boxing don't even necessarily mean having like power and like the best, hands in there, but it's just her movement and her ability to read her opponents. Like her ability to actually read opponents and study their movement. Like, that's what keeps her one step ahead of these fighters. Like, Chikagan can, measure range well, and she's watching the shoulders of these fighters. She's watching like their hips move, and she knows what they're going to throw next. Like, that's a lot of stuff that just comes from basic boxing. That all comes from basic boxing. That's why you see like Alexa Grasso, you see them like one step ahead of those big punchers like Macy Barber. Like Macy Barber, she's a clubber. She's swinging for the fence. But Grasso, she got the head movement for that. Like, she's one step ahead of her. She knows how to turn an angle and land a check left hook on Macy Barber. So, just look at Chikagan's style. Like, stop looking for submissions and knockouts. She got skills, man. She got skills. She got skills in there. Ulysses said, yeah, she's one of my favorite fighters in the division. Yeah, like, yeah, all around, like, just, WMMA period. Yeah, she's one of my favorites in there. Yeah, that fight was close, Robot Chicken. That Ebos fight. Now, that fight, I don't know what Chikagan was expecting in that fight. Like, Ebos surprised her. And I think if Manon can do what Ebos did, but just do it a little bit cleaner, she can finish. She can finish Chikagan. You think she's more of a gym rat? Yeah, she's got a high not Chikagan, but Manon's got a high level of skill in a lot of things like karate, boxing, taekwondo, all of that, wrestling. She's been, working on a lot of that stuff. She stays working. She's a cyclist too. Very, athletic. You said Caitlyn will try to put her magic feather dusters to work. Man, them things, hey, them things ain't no joke, man. Like, next thing you know, you behind 2 rounds, man. When she touching you up, you look at them significant strike numbers, it's like 40-18. But I don't see that happening to Manon. Like I said, Manon's high level striker. So, with Manon's level of striking being high here, she's just got to be one step ahead on her timing. She's got to take some tips from Valentina in this fight. Be the aggressor. Time Chikagan, look to land with power and do damage. Like, that's how you got to beat Chikagan. You got to be one step ahead of her. You got to time her style. She's not the fastest. You just got to out time her, and you have to do damage. You got to take Chikagan out early, or somewhere in the second or third round. You got to be ready to stop her, because if you don't, you're gonna lose a decision. You got to do damage. You got to do damage on a fighter that likes to fight off a point fighting style. Like, that's why a lot of fighters don't beat Angela Hill very convincingly. Like the Angela Hills and stuff. Fighters like that, because you're not breaking them down, and you're not taking them down to submit them. Rose, Randa Marcos, they all got Angela Hill out of there. So same goes for Caitlyn Chikagan. You got to hit her to hurt her and get her out of there. Hit her with hard shots to stop her to just slow her work rate down. Yeah, BJ, I don't. Yeah, I just don't look for power. Like I said, I don't look for power from her. I don't look for knockouts. I'm not looking for submissions from her. Don't look for the right. Stop looking for the wrong things. Right. Oh yeah, Caitlyn was doing the body head attack on Maya, in which Manon should have been doing to win a silver. Hey, see right there. I mean, look, little stuff like that, man. Like I said, little stuff like that. Little stuff like that, man. If you look at Chikagan, what she's doing, it's not spectacular to the casual fan because there's no power to it. But body head attack, Marcus. That's a good point. I remember that. Body head on Maya's behind. Where, yeah, if Chikagan, I mean, if Manon did that to Buena Silva, she probably would have got her out of there. She probably would have got her out of there that night. But, Caitlyn Chikagan was, on her variety, And that variety, it frustrates these girls that don't have a high IQ. A lot of these girls don't have high boxing IQ in the top 5, in the top 6. I'd say the high level boxing IQ in the flyweight division right now, I'd say would just be like high level IQ with just boxing would be like Valentina, Chikagan, Manon, and Grasso. I say those 4 have a high level of a boxing IQ. Oh, the boss, what's up? He said, I think Manon and Chikagan are very close when it comes to skill, but Firo is much more athletic. Yeah, I think her athleticism and her strength should carry her through the fight. He said, random side note, you ever seen Sabrina De Souza? She's an amateur, but she's only 21, 12-0. Saw her look pretty sharp in one of her fights. I might have seen it. I got to look at it. I might have seen it. I might know about face, but yeah, I'll check her out. James said, I think Manon would try to take it to the ground. That would be wise. Fighting her on the ground, her using her wrestling, controlling Chikagan on the ground. That's how Ebos had success. Yeah, you got like 20 people. Make sure you hit that like button. Hit that like button. Just having a conversation. We'll be back on a little later on tonight, maybe around 7. Maybe have somebody on if they want to, talk about some fights. I think, wrestling would be very effective. James, yeah, hit that like button. You got like 21 people in here. Lafayette, what's up, man? I'm still thinking Lafayette, man. Grasso Arujo, I'm still thinking, man. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that fight, man. A lot of questions will be answered in that fight, though. A lot of questions are going to be answered with Grasso Arujo. Oh, all right. So this last thing I want to jump on, Marina Rodriguez, man. Marina Rodriguez, to me, I think that right now, out of a lot of the strawweights, she seems to just be that one that's just been that, like, almost like, what was it they used to call in rap, like a backpacker. You know what I mean? Like she's just been working and just slowly getting her way to the top. Um, just doing her thing. Dropping gems on everybody. I think Marina Rodriguez is just kind of been slowly under the radar. Yet at the same time, there's been some eyes on her, but she's getting there. She's getting there, but she's got another big task ahead of her against Amanda Lemos, and I think this is a fight that she's got to go in there and make a big statement against. Once again, because it's another roadblock. She's not fighting up; she's fighting down. So she does have everything to lose in this situation because Lemos could take that opportunity. But let's say if Marina does get by Lemos and she does get her title shot and she wins, do you think Marina Rodriguez, do you think she's got the style to carry 115 on her back, even just, for, a few fights? Because, we got a lot of good fighters in this division, but it seems like nobody's really been able to defend the belt more than once, right? I think Rose defended the belt, one rematch against Joanna, then she lost it. Jauregui defended the belt against Joanna as well, right? Because she beat Andrade for it. She beat Joanna. Rose, she defended the belt in her rematch. She's as well against Wei Lee, right? So everybody's just been kind of defending that belt just one time, nobody's really like exploding on the scene and showing like that Valentina level of work rate. You think about it now, like nobody's really had that type of dominance like Valentina. So like if it came down to it now, like, do you think Marina's got what it takes? Like, I think Marina's got what it takes to win the belt because this belt plays hot potato. No style is perfectly matched up with anybody here. See, with flyweight is different. Flyweight is different. Valentina has everything covered when it comes to styles in her division. That, some of these fighters just don't have that level of talent. It's just two different divisions. But 115, it just seems somebody always overpowers the next fighter in this division. So nobody really goes on that win streak anymore. But what if Marina wins that belt? Can she carry the division on her back? Like, y'all think she could at least get 2 title defenses on her resume? Sink said he don't believe Marina can win the belt. I think she can win the belt. I don't think that's a problem. I don't think winning the belt's a problem. I think the question for me is just like, can she defend it? Can she defend it? Yeah, the boss. Yeah, if she beats Lemos, she's gonna have to get a title shot. Now I'm tired of them pushing her off. The boss said, I'm the biggest Rodriguez fan, but Whaley and Esparza are terrible matchups for her. Yeah, Esparza wasn't terrible. It was just too. It was competitive because she could have won that fight, and maybe if she corrects some things now, maybe in a rematch it wouldn't be as bad. I don't know though. Like, I think that depending on who it could be, and depending on what she works on, she could probably at least defend the belt. Let me see. I'll be real. Maybe at least once. I think she could at least defend the belt once. Like, let's say she does beat whoever wins, Carla or Zhang Weili. I think if they matched her up with, let me see, who could they match her up with to at least give her one belt out of these different styles? I gotta look at the rankings. I'm just trying to guess off top. But she already fought Yan Zhanan, and yeah, that fight. Yeah. it is pretty difficult to say because even Rose would be a tough fight for her to win. You know, Rose is a very more close to well-rounded fighter than Marina is. Hmm. That's a good question. I had to, think about myself. Like I said, I didn't plan it. I just thought about it. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think yeah, style wise, it would be hard for her to defend that belt against fighters like Rose, even like Yan Xiaonan again, because volume striker was kind of a tough style for her. And somebody that likes to wrestle, like you were saying, yeah, somebody that likes to wrestle, that would be a tough style. Like even like hypothetically speaking, like let's say she did beat Carla or Wei Lee, whoever wins the title. Let's say if she did beat that fighter, she had to go in there and defend Andrade too. Yeah, I forgot Andrade is number 4 right now. That's tough, man. This division, I don't think, I like Marina a lot, but I don't see the same type of dominance and well-roundedness in like some of these fighters like you do see in like even Nunez, Amanda Nunez or like Valentina, like where they have all grounds covered or they just have certain styles or they have power to carry them through fights. You know what I mean? Like you don't really see that in this division too much. Like when you see Amanda, what Amanda can bring to the table to shut somebody down. You say the same thing about Valentina, but some of these styles that Marina has been getting through, she's been getting through it. She's been working, but when you start getting into that level of like a Wei Lee, man, that's tough because Wei Lee is just really been improving. I think not just of what you see in the cage yet because she was only bounced back from the Rose loss with one fight, but just her work ethic too. Just her work ethic and how it presents itself when it comes out. So yeah, man, I don't know. She could, man. I think a lot of these strawweights aren't really built to carry this division on its back because that's how deep the talent is. That's how deep the talent is here, man. BJ said Carla's going to dominate Wei Lee. How do y'all feel about that? Carla is going to dominate Wei Lee. I'm not really going to get upset about that. I mean, anything can happen. See, like I said, I'm a realist on this. Anything can happen. But how many people would be shocked? Like, I'm to the point with MMA where just understanding it, I'm to the point where I'll be like, I can't be shocked if that happened. I could not be shocked if Carla dominated Wei Lee. Like, why would I be shocked? Wei Lee's already gone on record say this is the first wrestler she's really fought, right? And what if that was just her kryptonite? What if that style was just her kryptonite? And you got to think, like, when has Carla ever ran scared in a fight? Like, she been beat, she been broken by some big strong girls, but like, when has Carla ever like just laid down and quit? Like, think about that. Like, some people when they just so quick to judge Carla, like, when has Carla ever said no mas in the cage? Has Carla ever just said no mas in the cage? No, she took her L's and she took her W's like a real fighter does. May not be the style you like, but Carla still fights like somebody that is trained to be a fighter. I know look, we all know what happened in the Rose fight. Let's ignore that one fight. Let's ignore that one fight just for a while, okay? But Carla, I think, still is, to me, she's champion for a reason. She's mentally stronger than Rose, so hey, she is that champion right now. I mean, like it or not, she's still going to be some competition for Wei Lee, and Wei Lee knows that. I don't think Wei Lee would go out the way to say, oh, this is the first wrestler I fought, like if she didn't feel some type of way, like she really had to prepare for it, right? What do you think? Like, BJ, what do you think? Like, Wei Lee wouldn't have just called it out if she didn't feel like it was going to be some type of issue, right? You know what I mean? Like something she had to prepare for. Robot Ticket says Zhang is working with Cejudo. She's not going to be perfect overnight. She can counter wrestle Carla better, learn how to block. BJ said Carla is the champion. Yeah, she's a 2-time champion. We can't knock that. She's a 2-time champion. And this is a big part. Let's not forget that Carla neutralized Rose. And not in the sense you're probably saying she mentally neutralized her. Because mental is a big part of the fight game. She mentally neutralized her. I know some people think that don't stand for nothing, but hey, wasn't Carla was Carla still underdog in that fight? I can't remember. But anyways, Carla neutralized her mentally. Since I don't know if Zhang Weili has no, I don't know if she has any cardio. Big Soldier, what's going on? He said people ride hype trains until the fighter lose. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I remember the time people were jumping off of, train with Wei Lee. People were jumping off that train with Wei Lee. Wei Lee knows she can't play wrestler with Carla. No, she can't. Oh boy. The boss said Carla is good, but on paper, Wei Lee just has more weapons. She's the much better striker. She has more power. Even her wrestling could be a problem for as far as it right now. Yeah, she's got a lot of that stuff. Yeah, that's the thing about her. Her on paper, yeah, Carla's resume does look really good, but I think if what I'm thinking is like how the other fights played out, then Wei Lee should have a couple of those things that like Suarez had and Joanna had. Like, of course, she has the better striking, but the other thing that is like a kryptonite to Carla is that physical strength. You know what I mean? Like that physical strength, bigger, stronger. Those bigger, stronger strawweights were always her issue in there. Not just tall, because you saw how she handled Marina. Marina's taller, but she could still handle her. Yan Zhana was taller, but she could still handle her. But those physically strong fighters, that have really good wrestling and good takedown defense. Those long, lean fighters that have that physicality to them, like Joanna. So they have those things. I want to see if Wei Lee has that type of strength. I know she has a striking, but I want to see if she has that type of physical strength that could kind of neutralize Carla. Yeah, she's been training at Muay Thai. Yeah, Tiger Muay Thai. I think her and Loma. That's where Loma got a chance to meet the former champion. To be said, any new developments in the strawweight triple threat? Maybe give me a couple more fights with Yasmine Jauregui, and I'll put her in there. But I really don't see anybody else like a threat to top 5 right now. Like, not even, Lupi was kind of a bust with that Angela Hill fight. She exposed a lot in that fight, right? I think Yasmine Jauregui could be one. And let's see what Bruna Brazil brings to the table in maybe her first 2 fights. Like, if Bruna Brazil goes in there 2 beasts and she like destroys her first 2 fights, and they're decent names, then I'll put a Bruna Brazil in a triple threat and Yasmine Harigi. Like, let's see. I want to see Yasmine Harigi be maybe one more fighter before I do a triple threat for her too, because Estella Nunez isn't really like a big name or that much competition, you know. See, it's different. Like whenever Tyler and Manon they hit the scene, even Aaron Blanchfield, they just be looking like they are complete. Like, ain't that crazy? They just look like some, they are on the verge of being more complete. Robot Chicken said y'all gonna look stupid when Whaley get the belt. James said I favor Whaley for sure, and she should win. Carla can win in my book, but if Carla dominates, I would be clearly shocked. If Carla wins, I wouldn't be surprised. Like I wouldn't be shocked, but yeah, if she dominates, yeah, I would be shocked because aside from Yan Janan on Carla's win streak, she hasn't really dominated a lot of fighters. She's just won. She's won a lot of fights, which that's still good. She's won a lot of fights, but if she did go in and dominate, I would be shocked. I would be shocked because you don't really see Whaley. You don't really see Carla in there dominating any other fighters. So Carla's just never had that particular style. But if she was not dominating Zhang Wei Li for like 4 or 5 rounds, I'd be like, wow. Ephraim, what's up? He said Wei Li's fight to lose. Yeah. DJ C said Carla dominated Yan Zhanan. Yeah, you didn't hear me. I just said that. That was the only fight. That's what I said. I said she didn't dominate anybody except Yan Zhanan. You missed that. And you remember Yan Zhanan didn't really offer anything on the ground. She didn't really pick any good points to, start working her jab in that fight. Right? So yeah, aside from Yan Zhanan, like I said, nobody else she really dominated. She, even the fights that you think she could have won against Claudia Gadelha, she never dominated those fighters. So it would be a shocker. She didn't dominate. No, BJ. She didn't dominate Jandiroba. She didn't dominate Jandiroba. That was a close fight. That thing was like a split decision. Even on the scorecards, it was close. I had Carla winning, but that was not no domination. Don't reach now. She's got some W's. She's got some rightfully earned W's, but she didn't dominate Jandiroba. She had some moments where she neutralized that jiu-jitsu, but she didn't dominate her. Oh, James said, okay, that's what I'm saying. So we see the same. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm saying the same thing on that. Like, you gotta understand, like, yeah, you said my problem with saying Carla dominating Whaley's not a shock. Winning is possible. Right. Yeah, winning, winning it. Carla knows how to win, but Carla doesn't really dominate, right? Like I said, look at all her wins. Only Yan Janan, but outside of that, nobody, she ain't really dominated. She won that fight with Verna. She won that fight. I wouldn't say she dominated her, like, destroyed her. No. That was a good fight, though. Like I said, I had Carla winning, but I don't say she dominated. Right, James. Yeah, I always give her credit for that. Like, that's a lot of people miss. Like, they forget Carla is like an atom weight, but she's a two-time champion. Ain't that crazy? Like, for somebody that we keep saying is so small and is this not just not good, she's a two-time champion, and she's went on a win streak. To be said, what's your thoughts on Sam Page versus Pierre Rodriguez? Not just saying this because I am a fan of Sam Hughes, but I favor Sam Hughes in this fight because I remember that Valeska Machado fight in the Contender Series with Pierre Rodriguez, and I thought she won. Close. I thought she won a close fight. I thought Valeska Machado won a close fight over her, but she showed me that she was having some trouble with some of those striking moments in that fight. I think Sam, with her new team, definitely has a better chance. I think her straight punches are very, very much more effective, and she's been really working on her wrestling. I favor. It's going to be a good fight. I favor Sam in that fight. I think her striking has gotten better, and like I said, go back and look at her resume. Some of the fights that she had lost, you could say she won. Like even the Luana Pinheiro fight, I thought Sam did enough to win that fight. Loma Labutni, she got a little bit of a slow start, but she started to figure out Loma Labutni. If you go back and look at that fight, she started figuring her out in that fight in the later part. So it was kind of a slow start, but it should be a good fight. That's on the card with Grasso or Rujo too. So yeah, I'm gonna do a pick on that one in a couple of days. What were your thoughts on Pena's post on IG? Oh, the post about her getting the third fight, or her getting the third fight. I don't know. Her getting the third fight. I mean, I like the energy now. Look, I like Pena's energy. She said she's going for it. I think in the meantime, she need to get that Aldana fight because I don't know if she can beat Nunez in the third fight the way that last one looked. I love it though. I love what she's doing for herself. She getting it. You know what I mean? She going after it. So, make it happen if you can get it. But I think it would be wise for her to, fight Juliana Aldana fight. Pena versus Aldana would be a good fight. Let's do that. But she wrote it out. I mean, hey, that's what you got to do to get yours. You know what I mean? Like that's what you got to do to get yours. You got to go in there and you got to ask. You got to get it because you ain't gonna get these title shots. Like, a lot of people don't make these type of call outs. You know what I mean? They just sit back and say, "Oh, I'll fight you whenever I get a chance." Oh, this and that, all this type of bull like that. Robot Chicken says, "Serious question, comma, does anyone praise Buster Douglas? Only real people praise Pena because she's pretty. I'm not praising Fly By Night champion. I gotta praise Buster Douglas in that fight. I give him credit. He lost his mother. He had lost his mother before that fight. Buster Douglas did a big thing. I mean, he didn't beat my man Holyfield, I know, in the next fight, but you got to give credit where credit is due. He did something so many people couldn't do. I mean, no respect to Tyson in that fight. I mean, he got dropped, got back up and beat him. And like I said, you fighting when you lost your mother, you come back in there. I got to give him some props for that. I give him some props for that. I mean, I'm not going to give him GOAT status or anything like that, but for what he did that night, it could have kept going. He just didn't have discipline in the next few fights, gaining weight and so on. But I mean, for beating Mike Tyson and what he did and what he was dealing with that night, in a fight he was an underdog in, yeah, I give him credit for that. I mean, every fight is an individual fight, and it's, you could die at any moment in that fight. You fighting for your life every time. So that night he defended his life. I give him props for that against one of the killers in the heavyweight division. You know, he was just a different man that night. So Mike had the flu in that fight. Here we go. All the excuses being made. Everybody want to just take away from Buster Douglas. Buster Douglas knocked him out. It's a part of history. Antonio Tarver knocked out Roy Jones. It's a part of history. Deal with it. They ain't the best. They may not be the best, greatest fighters in the world, but those people blame the person that lost. Blame the person that lost. That's why you got to know you need to be on your game. Like, that's why Floyd calls himself the best ever, because he takes every fight seriously. So blame that champion that lost that night. Don't take away from the person that whooped their behind that night. You know what I mean? Blame that person that lost that night. Blame Tyson for having all of them women that night too. I don't know about no flu, but blame him for, having all them women up there in Tokyo or wherever it was that night, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Blame him for not being focused. Give the man props that whooped his behind that night, just for that night. You can do that. I can do that. That's why Floyd was always on his game, because the minute he lose, ain't nobody to blame but him. It's their fault. They lost focus. It's their fault. So they let that person eat off of them. And they're going to take that opportunity. Kareem Spirits, what's going on? He said Pena got under the skin of Amanda. No, I saw a part of Amanda I never thought I'd see. Yeah, the right person come along, they can pinch a nerve. You know what I mean? They can pinch that nerve. But if she get in the third fight, I preferably would like her to fight somebody else right now. Let Amanda get let Amanda get one of them fighters like Caitlyn or somebody, and then Juliana Pena and Irene Aldana, they can throw down. Because Irene Aldana, her last fight wasn't a legit bantamweight fight; it was a catchweight fight. So make that fight happen. If she get it now, don't get mad because she went to that effort to put it out there again. So yeah. James said Floyd lacked heart. Sure, man. He ain't lack no heart. Come on, man. Don't take away from Floyd now. How you lack heart? You go in there, you take some big shots, you stand toe to toe, you in the pocket with some of these hard punches. You can't go undefeated, and you can't fight that type of fight he fights for 12 rounds and not have any heart. When it comes to boxing, you ain't gonna argue me on that one, man. You ain't gonna win that fight. You ain't gonna win that one. To say Floyd don't have no heart, I mean, come on, man. This guy's up training. This guy is training 3 a.m. while everybody else is out partying. 3 a.m, 4 a.m in Vegas, in one of the biggest distraction capitals of the world. All right. That guy got a lot of heart. And don't try to say, oh, man, he got more heart. Hey, just because you go in head first and you take a bunch of punches don't mean you got more heart. I mean, that just means the other guys got more IQ and more brain. You know what I mean? I ain't, hey, Floyd got heart. You don't come from nothing like he has and then say he ain't got heart compared to some of these other fighters. Floyd got a lot of heart. Floyd got a lot of heart compared to even some of these other guys, even back in the day, because he stood for his own. He ain't never laid down. He ain't never lost. He ain't never laid down and lost like some guys in the past. They laid down and lost. But Floyd, he showed, look, I'm doing this for me. I'm gonna do it my way. I don't care if you booing me. Even with the people booing, he ain't never give up his game plan in the fight. He ain't never fold. Can't question that man's heart. Anybody that gets popped dirty, I question their heart. Anybody that quits on the stool, I question their heart. Anybody that tries to come in overweight in the fight, I question their heart. Anybody that got a headbutt or a low blow, I question their heart. And y'all forget the name. You forget the name of the game is boxing. It ain't about going in there taking punches, and it ain't about being a dog all the time. Like, he's showing his dog in there, but why do that when this game is called boxing? Sink said, do you think Aldana has that dog in her to take it to Amanda and win, or would she fold under pressure? Man, I like Aldana. Look, I like Irene Aldana. I don't know if she's got that grit to take Amanda out of her game. I don't know if she has that type of grit to take it to Amanda. I think she's got some good technique about her, but I think Amanda's pressure and Amanda's overall tools and skills, I think they would be too much for Irene Aldana. That's just me. Like, I'm not gonna say she ain't a fighter with no grit in her. She has some, but I don't know if it's not gonna be enough to take her down. Oh, Sink, appreciate that with the 5 spot. He said the yeah. That's what I just read. My bad. Yeah. I think she does not have that type of grit in there. I think Amanda Nunez, too much power, too many tools. I don't know if she got that grit like Pena to do it. Yeah, that knockout over Victor Ortiz, people forget who struck first. Like, Floyd came back with punches. Floyd knocked him out with punches. Ortiz hit him with the headbutt. So I don't see what the problem with Floyd did. Floyd didn't do anything wrong in that fight. Ortiz is the one that threw the headbutt, and Floyd came back with punches, and the fight was on. Yeah, he says she has the skills on paper, KO power, but she lacks that it factor. Yeah, I think Aldana's got good boxing, possibility to land a good left hook because she throws it well. She throws it to the head and to the body. So, she's very good at picking shots, very precise, but the much needed like pressure to put on Amanda, I don't know if she's gonna have that ability to disrespect Amanda. Like, I'm trying to think, like, when is Irene Aldana ever really went in there and like just kind of dog walk somebody? Like, Kelly Varia was landing some shots on her in that one fight before she came back, double left hooked her, right? But I've never really seen her just like dog somebody out. I don't know if she can do that. It's like she got some technique that could be some issues in there, but when you look at what Amanda covers and how she covers her ground in all her fights, if you really can't get into her head, then Big Soldier said Floyd never fought a real hit knockout artist. Let me see. Like, who do you think would be a knockout artist? Like, who would you consider to be the knockout artist that he should have faced? Because you think about it, like Prime James Toney, That dude, he had some of the best skills, and he could fight in the pocket too. And he ain't never been stopped in his game. Like, he been down a couple times, like against Roy Jones, but like on the level he was on, he ain't never been stopped either. Like fighting some of the toughest fighters. That's how good his defensive skill was. But Floyd, same could be said for him. That's how good his skills were to make a lot of these guys that can hit hard look average. Like, I'm trying to think, because hey, guys like Ricky Hatton was knocking people out. De La Hoya, Manny Pacquiao, right? Manny Pacquiao was considered that knockout artist, right? He was considered that beat 'em up guy. So those are legit guys. Zab Judah, he had knockout power in both hands. Shane Mosley, those were all guys with power in both hands. So those are all guys that can knock people out, man. And Floyd, he does what he does to take power away. So Maidana was a guy that was knocking people out, right? He was considered some guy that was on the level. Well, Pacquiao was stopping a lot of guys at 147. He was considered the knockout artist, right? He was the guy they was selling as the knockout artist. He knocked out De La Hoya and Hatton in quicker fashion. So everybody's like, he gonna knock him out. He beat the mess out of Margarito, didn't knock him out, but did beat the mess out of him. He stopped Miguel Cotto, right? So a lot of these guys, he was racking up wins, and they were selling him as the knockout artist. And Mosley was known as a power boxer. He knocked out a lot of guys at 154. So that's a guy that can hit hard. Well, when you talking welterweight, you ain't really gonna get too many one hitter quitters. Besides, like, even Felix Trinidad, wasn't really knocking everybody with one punch. Like, when you talking like lower weights, Julian Jackson, 154 pounds, like that's a guy that had one hitter quitter power. Like, who are some of the like lower guys around that time? Like, you won't get too many guys like that knocking out guys with one punch because they're small. When you start getting heavier weights, then yeah, you start to get more. You start to get those, like, of course, heavyweight, cruiserweight, light heavyweight. That's where you gonna get your super middleweight. You can get your one hitter quitters. But why does Floyd have to fight a one hitter quitter guy down here to be considered dangerous? To me, he's already shocked. He's already, not just shocked the world with the undefeated record, but he's been able to just neutralize guys that are just considered punchers. No, 147. No, James, that was 147 when he knocked Hatton out. They fought at welterweight. Yeah. No, Hatton was at 140 pounds, but he moved up to 147 for that fight. I remember this, man. Hatton was the IBF WBA champion at 140, but he moved up to fight Floyd at 147. I personally would have liked the fight to happen at 140. Floyd and Hatton would have probably been like Mayweather Gatti, though. No, actually, Ricky Hatton moved up and fought Luis Collazo first at welterweight. So he moved up to welterweight before that Floyd fight. So, Hatton was moving up in weight for bigger fights. So he fought Luis Collazo. Luis Collazo dropped his behind. Luis Collazo dropped him. And then that told me, like, okay, yeah, you ain't going to be ready for this. So Floyd beat him. And Floyd fought De La Hoya at the better weight at 154 pounds. See, people forget that too. Floyd, he fought De La Hoya at junior middleweight. See, Pacquiao fought him at 147 and he looked drained. All right, y'all forget about that. See, Pacquiao fought De La Hoya at 147. He looked drained and skinny. and that was in 2008. But Floyd fought De La Hoya at 154 pounds with his type of gloves at a bigger weight in 2007. Yeah, Floyd. Yeah, Floyd's got heart now. Floyd definitely has heart as a fighter. I mean, I ain't questioning that. I ain't even putting that thing on a scale to anybody. Like you don't go undefeated. You don't go undefeated like that and not have any heart. You know what I mean? Or even have to compare it to anybody else. Hold on here real quick. Oh, hang on. I was trying to. I thought I lost connection. I'm back. Okay. Well, I'm about to wrap this one up. Like I said, I might jump on, like another hour or so just to kill some, time when I get home. We don't have no fights this weekend anyway, so we can talk about some other stuff here. Yeah, the best aren't fighting the best right now, Marcus. That's the problem with boxing. That is the issue we got with boxing today, man. But yeah, I'm done. I just had to take care of some stuff while I was on here with y'all. And make sure y'all hit that like button. And we can talk some trash maybe around 7:30 or 8 o'clock. If anybody wanna jump on. But yeah. Subscribe if you haven't. See y'all guys at like 7:30, 7:45-ish. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Peace.